frosted glass.
Hey gang, welcome back to Death Curse Society. It's our last show of 2018. We're pretty excited about it. So you know what? Let's just jump right into it. I got Moly Michael. I got the crew.
Oh, I'm here
and I got
today, baby.
Zigzag. Let's just jump all into it. Let's go camping, folks.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
Our topic today for Let's Go Camping is the new film from director Adam Marcus called Secret Santa. We're going to let you check out a trailer. We got to edit a little bit of the trailer, but check this out and we'll be right back.
Oh, my little rainy day girl. Hi, Mom.
Mom, I thought this was your sister.
It's so good to see you.
Hey, my wiggers, how you living? Where do you think you're going without giving your bro some sugar?
Half brother. Well, I guess you're all wondering why I called you all here tonight.
I read the average holiday meal is over 4,500 calories and over 200 grams of fat. But this looks terrific.
Do those people have any idea how expensive those are?
Yes, ma'am. And what did you meet?
Strip club.
When I drink, I become an asshole.
Well, you're not drinking now, so what's your excuse?
Yep, la pita.
What? Am I popping out again?
Been indicted for bribing anyone at the FDA lately?
I was bound up something fierce.
For Christ's sake, you strippers empathizing with a cheerleader?
Jesus.
That's why we're shit candy, those cock-sucking motherfucking cunt singing tiny ass fucking little piss ass wire fucks.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God.
Why don't you fuck them already? Or is that a moot point?
Hey! Shut your mouth about my sisters, you pig!
You killed phones. You hit skis. Everything in your power to hold us hostage. What?
But we haven't had the desserts yet.
So guys, that's the trailer for Secret Santa. Let's chat about this before we really get into a little bit more. We got a little treat for you DCS viewers here shortly. Let's start with Ziggy on this.
Secret Santa. Controversial subject matter, Christmas horror. So, I mean, I'm intrigued. This looks, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, it's Adam Marcus. You know, we're familiar with his work and his writing, so this could be either way, man. This is a coin flip for me. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to it, though. We will give it its day in court.
Absolutely. It almost looks more like a dark comedy than it really does a horror film, but it does have some horror elements in it. It's just not necessarily a guy in a hockey mask coming after you.
No.
It's your own family turning around on you and you know.
It's disturbing, you know, I mean, to say the least.
Moly, what do you got to talk about with the Secret Santa trailer?
Well, you know, it could only get better from here, so I'm looking forward to it. I like that, you know, I got a thing for some old 80s Santa Claus, you know, it's good, you know, you got your, you know, Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night and all that good stuff, you know, Christmas Evil, you know, there's something creepy about Santa, so, no, I don't know, let's check it out. Fine.
Yeah. This actually could almost be like a dream scenario for some people that have difficult families for holidays and stuff like that. You know, you go outside to have a cigarette and, you know, chug on a bottle of wine just to get away from them for a few minutes, and you're like, man, I'd love to shove a knife right through somebody's heart in there. In this, they get to do it. It's looks kind of crazy. So, Colonel, talk to us a little bit about Secret Santa trailer.
The trailer makes the movie's very promising. Like I said, it is a horror comedy. So you are going to have your comedy mixed in with your horror, which is great. If anybody here is a fan of scary movies, which is more of a comedy than a horror comedy, I agree. But Shaun of the Dead was a great horror comedy. So it has a little bit of hype to live up to. The death scenes look fantastic. There's an awesome still of a character where she has like a tree topper rammed to the back of her head and it's coming out of her mouth. Looks fantastic. And everybody can relate to this film.
Oh, yeah.
No one really enjoys the holidays with their family. You do for about an hour, and then beyond that, it's agony. I'm ready to go. Let's eat so I can get the fuck out of here. So I have high hopes for it, but I'll have my final verdict once I get to view it.
Yeah. All right. Well, and Colonel, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about our surprise that we got going on here.
Okay. Well, with this being our last episode of the year and kind of a unofficial Christmas episode, the Colonel got everybody a special gift. A 22-minute long interview with Adam Marcus for the show, but also as an extra bonus gift, 22 minutes your stocking stuffer. Your bonus gift is we have a 45-minute interview with Adam Marcus where we discuss Secret Santa, upcoming Skeleton Crew projects, great behind-the-scenes stories for Jason Goes to Hell, everything from the movie to Sean Cunningham. It's fantastic. It's a good watch. Oh, it was delicious.
Listen. This guy's interesting, head to toe. I mean, just some of the stories he's going to drop on you, these are fucking exclusives. You haven't heard this shit anywhere. The DCS is on it. We're going to follow up on some of these paths he put us on with some of the statements he made, but you got to see this. This is amazing. This guy is something else. He's the real McCoy. Check this out.
Yep. Check this out, and we'll be right back. Enjoy.
With the practical effects in Secret Santa, a lot of the reviews are saying it's a good mixture between your practical effects and then CGI effects.
Yes.
I'm sure budget plays a role into this, but what are all the factors when deciding, okay, we're going to use practical effects for this shot, CGI for this shot?
In the case of Secret Santa, it's 100% budgetary, and I'll tell you exactly how. So I did not plan on having any CGI in the movie. None. Okay. There was this extraordinary room that we used for a lot of the action in the film. This great room at this beautiful house, cabin. You can't call it a mansion on Big Bear Lake. It's done cabin style, but it's a mansion. So we have this giant room, and in that space, they had plush, beautiful carpeting. Well, I'm not going to tear up the carpet. That's insane. But I knew this place was going to run red with blood. I knew blood would be everywhere. So I'm like, okay, we're going to buy lining for the entire floor. We're going to do a plastic lining and then put carpet over that lining. Okay? So there's no way the blood can get into their beautiful carpet, ruining the carpet. So in doing that, there was a giant seam in the middle of the room. One long seam that you could see in probably about 30 or 40 shots.
Mm-hmm.
We had no way of getting rid of the seam. It was impossible. So we went, okay, I'm not going to destroy the carpet. I need to put this down. At that point, my composer, a guy named Tim Eilers, who Tim and I, again, we've been friends for a couple decades. It's like, God, what am I going to do about this line in the floor? And Tim was like, I can get rid of it. I'm like, what, are you going to make a patch? He's like, no, I can just do it digitally when we're done. I was like, you can? He's like, yeah, no problem. So that was the first digital thing. And again, you're never going to notice it's even in the movie because you won't see a seam in the carpet. It's gone. Okay. But here's what happened. Bob Kurtzman was doing all the physical effects. And here's the thing. You want blood to spray in a certain direction. You want blood to hit a certain thing. You want blood to come out of somebody's neck and keep pulsing. And while we did all of that on set, the thing that you don't have time for is retake and retake and retake. We did so much blood work on the movie that Bob had to call buddies in LA to ship more blood to set. It was the one thing we ran out of. He's like, I need more gallons of blood. So here's the thing. The only digital effects, the only stuff that was changed in the movie was blood spatter, a couple of really cool surprise things that I would never give away until somebody sees the movie, and an eyeball effect. Again, I won't say when and where, but an eyeball popping from someone's head was added to digitally. So here's the thing. It would come to a point in a shot where I'd go, okay, I can't do another take. We got to move on. I got to keep the day going. And Kurtzman, who also does digital effects, is like, look, you can do it this way, and this way. Then Tim took over and would do the digital effects. So here's the thing. All of our digital was only used to enhance what Kurtzman had already done. So whenever you see some digital blood in the movie, and look, by the way, digital blood is digital blood. I know. I'm not a dumbass. I know. And so there are moments when you're gonna go like, oh, that's digital blood. Like we're gonna do that. So most of the audience never gonna know. But for those of us that love horror, we know when digital blood's been used. Sometimes I'm using it simply for comic effect, or I'm just adding to the spray. By the way, there's a ton of times when you won't notice that I use digital, and it's digital. So. Again, there's like 3 or 4 times where you're like, digital blood. And trust me, I'm the first one to go, I hate digital blood. But for most of the audience, they're going to need that for the gag to play. So I'm not above using it. I think horror fans get a little nuts with this stuff. And it's like, listen, I'm not a giant fan of digital. I get it. But it's one of those things that when you need it, you need it. And it's a tool. And it's, look, again, if I had a $10 million budget, I would have done the movie very differently from that standpoint. And you would never know that any of that happened. And by the way, I would also do 40 takes of everything. But when you're running and gunning it, you get 2 takes. Move on. Let's go. So you can't reset all the time.
Yeah.
But I will say, there are about 6 effects in the movie that have nothing digital involved whatsoever, and they are truly spectacular. Just incredible effects. So Bob killed it for me. He just he hit it out of the park.
Back to Secret Santa and Skeleton Crew. With it being a Skeleton Crew production, what were some of the positives and negatives of essentially being your own boss on this film?
Look, here's the most positive thing about being your own boss is one, the buck stops with you. So you end up, for better or for worse, and I've said this from day one, if people hate the movie, that's cool. I'll own it. Okay. What I hated, the experience that myself and both my partners, both Deborah and Brian, hated, was when we would make something and then someone else would either recut it or rewrite it or do something to it that we had nothing to do with. And then we would get a bad review based on something that someone else did. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't let's put it this way, okay? My wife and I never wrote the line, do your thing, cuz, at the end of Texas Chainsaw 3D. We didn't write it. I will also say this. We did not write the scene with the cell phone in Texas Chainsaw 3D. You know why? Because the movie took place in 1993. So no one had a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. We didn't write that. And I will tell you, I have taken so much guff from fans and from critics alike where I'm like, wait a second. The authors of that movie had nothing to do with that nonsense. That's just a lie. It's just not real. It's idiotic. And so when stuff like that happens as a filmmaker, you start going, oh, okay, so my name is on the thing, but it's not representing who I am as an artist. It's not representing what I was paid to do. And the timeline on Texas Chainsaw 3D is batshit crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. We tied the movie to the first film, which I loved doing, and it was respectful and honoring Toby. That's what we were trying to do. And then you put a smartphone in when it's 20 years later. That's just not okay. So when we started Skeleton Crew, it was a chance for us to to make movies that we believed in and that we knew the logic of those movies, again, rested on us. If somebody doesn't like something in Secret Santa, they can blame me. And I'll take the credit for it. Like, if they hated something about it, I'm like, cool, I get it, and I did it. The tough part about it, and by the way, here's the thing, I'm never my own boss in a way, which is great because I have partners. What's so good is when you have, especially 3 partners, and we are all very different people, the 3 of us, but we've all known each other for so long. You understand each other, you know how to give each other enough slack so that people can be who they want to be inside of the filmmaking, but you've always got people that you trust who have their eye on you and know when to say no. And so I love that I have partners who say, really? You want to do it that way? And then I have to defend my position. If I can convince them of my position, great. If I have a reason for it, great. And, in particular, Brian is such a good producer in that he gives me just enough room to do what I need to do as a director. And if he sees that I'm getting the job done and the dailies look great, Brian stays so far out of my way. He'll just sneak. He's very funny. He just kind of drifts onto set like a specter and nobody even knows he's there. And suddenly I'll turn around, I'm like, oh shit, Brian. Hey dude. Good. Hey. All right. So that's, to me, that's part of his greatness, is he really allows me to be the artist I need to be.
I'm Cunningham, hear about your work. And, and I guess my follow-up question to that was, really, how does a 23-year-old, no offense, gain the trust of the studio to pick up the reins of like one of the more major franchises in horror?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the scoop with Sean. Noel Cunningham, Sean Cunningham's son, was my best friend since the time I think we were 8. And so I was a fixture in the Cunningham household my whole growing up. And I was bouncing around when they were making the first Friday the 13th. I was there for spring break. I was there for House. I was there at the table read of House. I was just always there. I was a theater kid when I was growing up, and I was apprentice editing for Sony Pictures by the time I was 13. This is in Westport, Connecticut. My dad lived in Manhattan. My mom lived in Connecticut. So Sean had lived in Connecticut his whole life, in Westport. And so by the time I was 15, I started my first theater company. And Sean was actually Susan, Sean's wife, ex-wife Susan Cunningham, who's like the mother to all of us. She's the most amazing, extraordinary woman. And she was an editor. She was the editor of things like Friday the 13th Part 2. She's brilliant filmmaker herself. Anyway, I was kind of part of the family. I was just sort of like the son that he didn't need or want. But he was incredibly supportive of my theater work back then. I had started my first theater company when I was 15. And I was running 2 theater companies up through college, and it's actually part of the way that I paid my way through school. I paid for all my films by doing theater. When I won Best Picture at NYU for So You Like This Girl, so when I graduated, I got 2 job offers, and I was already working for a company in New York called R. Greenberg and Associates, which I was working on the titles for Goodfellas at that time. I was working on with Brian De Palma on a film. I mean, I was already really immersed, and I hadn't even graduated yet. And so I got 2 job offers. One was to work on season 2 of Twin Peaks back in the day, and the other was from Sean Cunningham, who had seen the film and was like, "Look, you got chops. Come to Los Angeles. Be my bitch for a year and I'll give you your shot to direct." And Sean in return said, "Look, New Line's buying the rights from Paramount for Friday. If you can figure out a way to get that goddamn hockey mask out of the movie, I'll let you direct it." Now, by the way, Sean's even been quoted at festivals. At a festival, there's a YouTube clip of Sean saying, "I'm a fucking liar" about that statement. Okay. Now, the amazing thing about that clip is that he says I'm a fucking liar, Kane Hodder is sitting right next to him, and Kane blanches at that, and Kane does not blanch. So Kane looks at him like, what? And Sean starts to backtrack immediately because he knows what he's just done is slander me in public, okay? Because here's the thing, and you bring up the perfect point. Sean Cunningham, okay, is in his 50s, and he's the guy who created the largest horror franchise of all time, okay? I am 22 at the time that I got this job offer. 22 years old, film school grad, with no credits of any kind except a win at NYU, okay? So either I overpowered Sean S. Cunningham and told him, look, we're going to get rid of that damn hockey mask, you fool. or Sean told me to get rid of the goddamn hockey mask. Now, here's the thing. Sean is either a neutered eunuch and I overpowered him, and I'm the most powerful 22-year-old that ever existed, or it's Sean who's the fucking liar. So, by the way, he can take his choice, whichever one he likes. I come out looking great either way. Either I am so powerful that I can do that, or he's lying. So, here's the thing. Sean did not like that mask. He didn't like Friday the 13th. He was caged by it. And by the way, to his credit, Sean had stories he wanted to tell that were amazing. He had scripts that were written. He didn't write them, but that he shepherded certain projects while I was there with him for years. I was at Cunningham Productions for 3 years. There were projects that were beautiful, well written, that were sensitive and emotional. And I asked him at one point, I said, Sean, what is your goal as a filmmaker? I said, you've done so much. You've conquered so much. What do you want to do? And his response to me was, I want to win an Academy Award. And I was like, wow, the guy who made Spring Break and Friday the 13th wants to win an Academy Award. Okay, fuck yeah. And I got to tell you, he's the kind of guy that I was like, awesome, then you should win an Academy Award. But that hockey mask, which, by the way, isn't Sean's, that hockey mask doesn't come in until part 3 when his first sort of mentee, Steve Miner, is taking. He's already taken over the franchise from part 2 to part 3, and that's when the mask shows up. Sean loves to take credit for it now. He's the guy. No, he's not. He made a movie about a mother murdering campers because she thinks they neglected her child, and she's nuts, and she's killing everybody. That's what he made. The Jason Voorhees movies happened after Sean's movie. And suddenly, this hockey mask, I think, sealed his career in a casket with a hockey mask on. And he wanted so desperately to tell other stories that I think he had an anger about that thing that trapped him. But it's the gift that kept giving. So it's a curse that is this moneymaker. So I get it. I get where he's coming from. I totally understand that. But let's be honest. I mean, the 22-year-old did not tell Sean Cunningham what to do with his franchise. Sean, brought me to New Line. Mike DeLuca was, kind of a fan immediately, had seen my stuff. Mark Ordesky was my other executive over there, and they were both incredible. But I had to literally take I had an oral quiz from Bob Shea in his office about horror movies. I'm not kidding. And at the end of it, after I, answered my questions 100% correctly, Bob turned to Sean and said, "Well, he doesn't suck. Let's let him test." So I directed a director's test, and they gave him the job. They were like, "We totally see it. We get what this guy can do." So that's how I got the job. Look, I will tell you this. It was daunting the first day on set making Jason Goes to Hell and being 23 and going like, I have fooled everyone into thinking I know what I'm doing. By day 3, I knew what I was doing. I did. I had enough youthful, foolish confidence that I was able to lead a 100-person crew and, you know, and make a movie that, look, to this day, I'm still very proud of that movie. I know it's the most divisive movie in the franchise. I got it. I'm the Halloween 3 of the Friday 13th. Well, okay, whatever. That's fine, and that's fine. And by the way, here's the thing: what I love about my chapter of the Friday 13th saga, which, by the way, I'd love to put this to rest. Okay, I made a movie that's in the Friday 13th franchise. It is canon. Deal with it.
Yeah,
like. The people who go, it's not canon. It's absolutely canon. Your fan film is not canon. My movie is canon. Sorry. That being said, I made a movie in the franchise. It's part 9. It's canon. Yes, did I throw in some Deadites in there? Damn Skippy, I did. I also got Freddy to grab that goddamn mask and started a whole new part of the franchise. So, and by the way, that was my idea. That wasn't a studio idea. That wasn't Sean. That was me and 2 of my roommates who were getting stoned to the bejesus. I don't indulge, but I love people who do. And I was trying to come up with gags for the movie of like what in-jokes I could put in the film. And so I immediately was like, wait a minute. New Line owns Freddy outright. We got to get the glove. Freddy had just been sent to hell. He had just died, right? So Freddy's dead had happened. And I was like, he's dead. Who better to pull Jason into hell? Let's get Freddy. So and New Line amazingly let me do that. Of course, they were all like, money, you know, and good for them. They should be. But it's no, dude. You know, the movie is canon, and I am proud of it, and I'm proud of it also because there are people who dislike it so much. I mean, dude. Literally in the last month, I have had people online wish me cancer because of the movie. And I'm like, and by the way, listen, again, in the sense that I am all for anybody saying whatever the hell they want to say. I'm like, cool, good. I'm not going to get cancer because you said that. You're going to get cancer because you are that angry about a movie.
Yes.
If you're that angry about a movie, you're going to have some serious health issues. That being said, what's great about people who hate it and people who love it, I made a movie 25 years ago to this day that people still talk about all the time. That's awesome. That's crazy. When Jason Goes to Hell came out, the day it came out, there was another movie that came out, debuted the same day. Have you ever seen Searching for Bobby Fischer?
I heard of it, but I haven't seen it. No, unfortunately not.
Okay. Here's the thing. It's a masterpiece. It's an extraordinary film, right? Ben Kingsley, Joe Mantegna, Joan Allen. It's a beautiful story. It's incredibly well told. It's from a director and writer. The guy wrote Schindler's List. This is an amazing film, okay? I paid to see Jason Goes to Hell. I had seen the movie so many freaking times. I was like, I cannot watch this movie again, but I wanted to pay for a ticket on the opening night. I walked into Searching for Bobby Fischer, okay? And it's a movie that to this day stays with me. No one knows this movie happened. No one talks about it. It's never on a top 10 list. It's literally like it didn't happen. And it came out the same night as Jason Goes to Hell. And it's got Academy Award winners in it and Tony Award winners in it. I made Jason Goes to Hell, and everyone still talks about it. Dude, come on. That's awesome.
I just want to again thank you for coming on our show.
Absolutely,
and being
dude.
The very first guest on Death Curse Society.
I love it.
Greatly humbled. Thank you.
Happy to do it, man. Happy to do it. And thank you for getting the word out about Secret Santa. By the way, just so your viewers know, we're gonna we go live on Amazon on Tuesday. So people can order from Amazon, they can order from us. Either one is fine, but I know a lot of people just like to be able to click on Amazon. They've got it on their phone already. Boom, get it. But we're Blu-ray and DVD this year. Next year will be you'll be able to do VOD. And then we'll be on some streaming sites eventually. But I'm gonna roll it out slowly. I want it to be a movie that people have to find, and they have to go grab it and get a copy and check it out.
So guys, there you are. There's our exclusive interview that the Colonel was able to get with Adam Marcus, writer, director, producer. Good job, Colonel. And I want to go one little bit further real quick and say, for your first interview, not bad, sir. Not bad at all. Good job.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Talk a little bit about it. Tell us what you thought about that interview.
Oh, well, as an interviewer, it was such a surreal experience for me because this is my, like I said, Crank just mentioned it, my very first interview ever that didn't involve someone getting a job. It was kind of nice because I couldn't ask simple question, answer. I can say question and then get 5 different answers.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Like I said, the stuff about the mix of practical effects and CGI and Secret Santa. Rarely do we, as horror fans, get a behind-the-scenes look and storytelling of why they do what they do. I'm not a big fan of CGI. I know these 3 gentlemen aren't either. And Adam Marcus even said so himself. He does not like CGI, but it was great to get a behind-the-scenes telling of why they choose to use it when they have to. As you guys saw with the Friday talk, how juicy was that story of him growing up around Sean Cunningham? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then being like, okay, well, you know what? Here, take over Friday the 13th. Let's get rid of that fucking mask. It's like, what? And then just, I don't want to, seriously, that was way more than I ever thought we was going to get. So, Adam, thank you for such an amazing story and being such an amazing storyteller.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a good little situation working in his film world. I mean, he seems to have obviously a lot more freedom than some filmmakers do. And he does seem to have, from what I've seen in the past anyway, he's got good directing chops and decent writing chops. I actually kind of like some of his writing. He, in things I've seen, and I expect this fully in Secret Santa at least, because Secret Santa looks full of your typical cliche characters, like the overbearing mother, the disappointing son that shows up with the stripper. That was me. Sorry, Mom. But you've got these cliched characters, but I know he's going to throw a little twist in there that turns them on their head even a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to that. And, yeah. Molly, talk to us a little bit about the interview. What you liked about it?
CGI, that it makes sense to use it. I get that when you need to because, of course, the money, but, sometimes there's things that you're just not able to get, when you need them. You need to get it in there for the shot. The blood splatter, I know they do that in a lot of horror movies just to add a little bit extra, just it's pretty typical. So I'm still looking for that seam in that carpet. I don't give a damn. Now that I know it's there, I'm looking, boy. You want to be able to do your movie and make it the way you want. So having that creativity power is going to be real nice for that skeleton crew he's got cooking there.
Mm-hmm.
Stories with Jason Goes to Hell and Cunningham. Now, talk about, knowing some right people, He grew up with a guy, can't hate him for that. And I like what he was saying, though, how he, he had already done 10 years of work as a kid, and done how many shows. It's like, I put my time in already. I know what I'm doing. So, it's interesting hearing straight from the horse's mouth these little inside stories. Got to figure whose side is he on with the whole Friday lawsuit. I'm kind of woo, juicy. I want to know. Let's get in it. But
like he says, I think we know. He just won't confirm anything.
Yeah. Well, you grew up with this Cunningham. He gave you a great break with the movie. You kind of, would assume it would be Cunningham, but
I guess we'll never know.
Right. Well, maybe not yet. Maybe Colonel needs to keep on digging her, you know what I'm saying? Get in that back door. All right. But yeah, great interview. I thought the guy was really positive, especially the way he answered the questions, and he gave you a lot more than what you asked. So it was definitely fun watching it. I enjoyed it. But wait till you see the full interview. Woo!
Oh.
Big old.
Yeah, Ziggy, talk to us a little bit about this.
The fact that he is in charge of this movie, it's all him and his crew, and he said, if it sucks, I'll own it. And you got to respect that. You know what I mean? He said it. If it sucks, it's me. It's my fault. As far as the Friday stuff, wow. I mean, I never expected him to get that deep with Cunningham like that. And to fill in what you guys were saying, he did say he doesn't have much of a relationship at all with him these days. So that kind of tells me what he might think of him now.
Right.
That's why I said, I was leaning. You don't really know.
Yeah. But you have to think, I mean, as a writer, he understands where Victor Miller is coming from, with his filing of his right to file that reclaim of the property. So this is a long way to go here. We got some shit to figure out, and we got some more people to talk to. Kane Hodder, Sean Cunningham. We're going to get on this shit. Don't worry about it, man. But what a fucking great interview. Great first interview for the DCS, and get ready for more. Colonel, well done, sir.
Very good,
thank you, gentlemen.
Alrighty, guys. So to get your physical copies of Secret Santa, go to secretsantathemovie.com and buy them direct from the Skeleton Crew production team themselves. That's right. I know Colonel's already got his on the way. And then it is released on Amazon by now, so go and check it out there. Make sure you get the right Secret Santa, though. There has been a couple of movies named that. Look for the one directed by Adam Marcus. It looks like this. All right. Well, that, guys, is going to wrap up Let's Go Camping. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after these messages. Stick around.
That's right. Do your thing, cuz.
I'll be right back. Don't get dressed.
All right, gang, welcome back to Death Curse Society. Now it's time for a few stories around the campfire.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back, come back!
Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to tell you our top 3 horror movies of 2018. We got a few different picks, and then a couple of us have the same picks, I would imagine. I don't know. We'll see. Let's start with Molly on this. Molly.
Yeah, well, there's only one answer for number 1 for me. I guess I'll say it anyway. Okay, Halloween, 2018. The other 2 now, I couldn't really think of a lot of good horror movies came out this year. So I'm pretty sure they got released in 18, but I'm not positive. But I'm going to say The Terrifier, because that clown art is shit. And if you want some scary-ass clown shit, there you go. Gore, shit on the walls, literally, you got it. You know where it's at, baby. He's good stuff. And then Victor Crowley, definitely not one of the best 2 in the series, but hey, it's Victor Crowley fucking people up. So, and a notable Death House.
Oh, yeah. Ziggy, what do you got for your top 3?
I also have Halloween 2018 as my #1 film for horror in 2018. It's, not a big surprise there. It was pretty much, the best we got. An iconic franchise back to life with iconic characters. So fuck you if you don't like it. Second one I have is The Nun. I really liked the way it looked on film. Not terribly scary, but it looked so damn good, and it's a great backstory, and I love the way it tied into the real series, the spin-off back to the series. So third, I probably have a tie there. It's Nick Cage and Mandy, and then Hereditary. Both very disturbing, kind of need a shower after you watch these two movies, you know what I mean? But that's kind of what we're about over here. So that's what I got. I'd say Mandy 3, and then Hereditary right behind it on its nipping at its ass hairs. Bam!
At the ass hairs and everything, huh?
Yep.
Interesting. All righty. Colonel, I know yours is going to be outside the box a little bit, so let's hear it.
Okay, for one, you ass clowns are so fucking predictable, okay? So
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, so I'm about to flip the script on you. You ready for this? A #1 movie for 2018. Halloween 2018.
Oh, okay. Good.
To me, that's the best one we got for the year. Not the best Halloween in the franchise, in my opinion, but a good addition to the series. Second favorite, I'll have to go with probably Summer of '84. I thought it was a decent mystery film. I really wouldn't classify it as horror. They definitely jumped on the '80s nostalgia train and cashed in on that because with Stranger Things being as big as it is.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, it was a decent mystery. And number 3, I guess I'm going to go with Mayhem. I thought it was a pretty good, bloody little movie. Not my favorite. It's worth a watch, though.
Okay.
But, I would like to add one more thing, a notable mention. Day of the Dead Bloodline.
Nice.
Fuck that movie. That was shit. I'm just fucking with you.
You were about to be fired again if you added that one to your list.
Fucking happens every other week, man. I'll be back.
Not this week, buddy. Not this week.
That zombie was just horny, man. Come on now. Don't hate on him.
Hey, sentence offense, it was nice to see Till from Rammstein getting acting jobs as that zombie. He did it great.
I don't even know when he's being serious or not anymore, folks. It's a fucking mystery to me. All right, I'm gonna start backwards. That way I don't piss these guys off too much. My number 3 movie of the year is Halloween.
As long as it's on there, I got no issue.
Here's my reasoning. Part of my reasoning. It didn't live up to the hype for me. I love the fact that it's back and it's probably going to bring in sequels and start a new franchise or a new chapter for the franchise, I should say, and hopefully inspire other big name franchises to come back. That's why it's primarily on there, but it just did not live up to the hype for me. I was very disappointed in the script, as we've talked about, and that's why it's number 3 for me. Number 2 would be The Nun. I do, like Ziggy said, I love the imagery in it. I like the story, the way it ties in well to other entries in the Annabelle and Conjuring universes. It ties in very well with those, and I like that about The Nun, which is why it's above Halloween, because I didn't necessarily like the way Halloween tied in even with the original. It wasn't necessarily, it was part sequel, part remake, part conglomerated, stroke fest Easter egg bunch to me. So Halloween number 3, The Nun number 2, and as I stated when I saw this movie in the theater, Hereditary number 1. Still one of the creepiest damn movies I've seen in years. And I know I'm not comparing it directly to this, but I said I think I told you guys at the time, I don't know if we were doing shows at this point or not yet, but I said to you guys at the time, this was like this generation's The Shining. It's going to get shit on for a little bit, and then a few years later, I think people are going to discover it and start passing it around, and then it's going to have a little bit of a cult following as the years go on. But there you go. Those are my top 3. Thanks, guys, for I like the choices. I still need to see Summer of '84 too. I'm interested in it. I just haven't had a chance to check that one out.
Some of the ones mentioned there, I definitely got to check out.
And don't be afraid to hit us on the Facebook, man. Let us know what the fuck you guys like, man. You know, shit. We can always get each other out with that.
Absolutely. Tell us your top 3 horror movies of the year. Let us know. Maybe you'll introduce us to something we haven't seen yet. Last up for Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas horror movies. I mean, not just from this year, but from, history. Want to give you our favorite and our least favorite. The ones we love and the ones that can go suck a fucking dick. Colonel, let's start with you on this.
Okay, well, this one is actually a little bit trickier than I thought it would be. Halloween being my favorite holiday, Christmas is my second favorite holiday. I don't go all Clark Griswold, but I get pretty damn close.
And we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's going to find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
So usually at Christmas time, I'm watching a Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, blah, 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 blah. The normal shit. But there are a few horror films I mix in every year. And my favorite being Gremlins. That takes me back to my childhood. I've been watching it every December for years. Can't get enough Gremlins. That's my number one horror Christmas movie with a few honorable mentions behind that. My least favorite, 2005's Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
That movie was fucking awful.
I had a feeling somebody was going to say that one.
Nice. Good choices. Good choices. Ziggy, what do you got?
I'm just still reeling from that last answer from the Colonel there. But, yes, a couple of good horror movies in Christmas time. There's a bunch now. We're actually, I'm happy to see that we're getting, like a Secret Santa added to it and, the Krampus and all that stuff. And, but when it comes to a Christmas movie I like to watch every Christmas and get my gore on, I always go to the go-to winner, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. I know it's a guilty pleasure. It might not even be the best in the series, but for me it is. For me it is. See? This guy right here.
Oh, there you go.
He knows. Now, you want to see a shit movie? And it falls in the holidays. It's not really Christmas. It's right after. It's a week later. This one's called, from 1980, New Year's Evil. And it is a slasher and stalker story over a DJ and everything. It almost warrants a watch once just to see how horrible they tackle this. But I mean, it's New Year's Evil, and you'll be pissed at me after you watch it. But it's a bad one, man. Go ahead and check it out, and let me know. And then send the insults my way. I understand. I'll take it.
No, I'm not gonna watch it. No, I like you too much already. I'm not gonna watch
it.
No,
you watch it.
No, I'm a DJ too. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I'm already looking over my shoulder enough, just trying to keep people from slapping my ass.
Yeah, I bet you got to beat those guys off with a stick.
I do, man. It's a weird gig.
It's the hair, man. It's the hair. It's fucking luscious.
Man, I told this one guy the other day, I was just like, dude, this ain't prison. Get away. All right, Molly, what do you got on your favorite and least favorite Christmas horror movies?
All right. Well, I thought Zag was going to steal my number one, you little shit. But he didn't. He was close. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1 and 2 I like a lot. And 2, yeah, probably a little better because it's just better. Number one for me. You can go with the remake if you want, but I got to go Black Christmas because Black Christmas set the standard even before Halloween was released for slashers. Inside the house, fucking up everybody, man. I mean, this was well before Michael Myers. So this was it. This was Black fucking Christmas. And if you haven't seen the original, watch that one. You know, the remake is actually really good too, but you want the real slasher feel, you got to go the original. I also like Christmas Evil, by the way. I thought that was really good. And ones I don't like, I could not narrow this down. All you got to do is go on Netflix or Amazon Prime, scroll through horror Christmas movies, be like, suck. Just check out the trailers and you'll see.
One just came to mind, The Gingerbread Man.
Gingerbread Man or Ginger Dead Man, or is that what Ginger Dead Man? I think
Ginger Dead Man. I've seen worse. Like
now, see, I know some people like the Krampus, but I've only seen one of them, and I wasn't a fan. So
Krampus is decent. I mean, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, now there's a lot. I mean, I saw one like 3-4 years ago, and I was like, Krampus, all right. But apparently, there's a shitload of them.
My official Christmas horror pick would also probably be Gremlins. That's just my favorite. It's too fun of a movie. One movie I want to give a little honorable mention to that isn't necessarily a horror flick, but has some horrific elements in it, is Scrooged with Bill Murray. And I know it doesn't necessarily qualify officially for this topic or list, but that Ghost of Christmas Future can be pretty terrifying, and there's some.
It's still a Christmas relatable movie that's a little dark, so yeah, it worked.
Yeah, I mean that by far that's my favorite Christmas movie. I mean, I love Christmas Vacation too. I never have been a big Christmas Story fan. I just never got into all that. That was weird. And but Scrooge is my top Christmas movie. But my least favorite was the remake Silent Night. That was just a worthless piece of shit. And I accidentally there was one night I couldn't sleep and I left it on one of my movie channels or whatever, and it was on when I woke up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't go to sleep, but it just kept playing and playing and playing. I was like, God, this still sucks. But there was nothing else on that night. So, yeah, those would be my two. Gremlins for the good one, and Silent Night, the remake. Bleh, that's pure shit.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back. I'm getting another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
Do you like Death Curse Society?
Support the DCS by advertising with us. We have several different ways to advertise. Sponsor a segment or a complete show, 30 or 60-second commercials, product placements or service discussion, banner ads with links on our interactive website, full website page sponsorships, get Facebook and Twitter mentions from our host or special guest, special shout-outs on our YouTube channel, and more. You can even advertise regionally through our website and keep your costs down, or ask about our package deals to save even more. Visit our website at deathcursesociety.com and click on the advertising sponsorship link under contact on the main menu. Thanks.
Hi, it's Kane Hodder. You're listening to Death Curse Society. Keep listening. Or don't fucking listen. I don't care.
All righty, gang. Welcome back. We got a couple more things to take care of before the end of the show, so let's get into it. Let me ask you a question.
Little pigs, let me come in. Here's Johnny.
Since it is the end of the year, we're just going to wrap it up with the typical questions at the end of the year. We didn't have any viewer questions this time. So our first question is, what horror-themed items do we, as the DCS, want for Christmas? We'll start individually. I'll go with Colonel on this first.
That's a tough one. I'd really like to get my hands on the Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I'd really like one of those real cheesy comforter sets I see on Facebook ads for like $60. It has a bunch of different Jasons on it. You know it's going to look like shit, but the price is almost as willing Almost sucks me in every time. I like to get one of those just to see how bad it is.
Yeah, I could see that. I've been seeing a lot of the like classic horror VHS covers on blankets and stuff too lately. Those look kind of interesting.
It's not bad.
Molly, what are you looking for Christmas?
Well, for Christmas, I know I'll be getting 2018 Michael Myers NECA Ultimate action figure. That's pretty much all for Christmas, but, you know, things that kind of like to get. I mean, there's some nice collector sets out there for Blu-ray right now. I'm kind of behind on some. I know the Creep Show one is out. I saw they're doing one for Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 right now. It just came out, collector's edition. Some other good ones. The Shelf Factory does a really good job with their collector's edition. But I'll probably want to pick up that accessory kit for the Nightmare on Elm Street action figure. You get the little worm thing in there, you get a couple signs, and then you get him coming out of the TV. But that shit's like $60. So, I mean, it's, you know, Myers is definitely more important. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very nice, very nice. You, anybody getting any of the new Michael Myers, the 2018 masks? Any one of you getting one of those?
Not anytime soon, but I would like one.
Yeah.
It's funny, when they first went on sale, you know, they were a decent price, and now, you know, the first run sold out. You can't get it for less than like $180. So,
oh shit,
I think I might be fucked on that one.
Yeah,
and maybe wait until they do another set of them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that excited for it. Ziggy, what are you looking for Christmas?
Yeah, I'm like these guys. If it was toys, you know, there's the Ultimate Michael Myers from NECA is definitely on the list. You know, I mean, I'm always looking. There are some things coming this year, I guess, that later on that will be up in that line. But something that happened to me this summer that I've really been getting into lately is the fucking vinyls, man. Dig this. Yeah, baby.
Uh-oh.
It's crazy, man. I never collected them when vinyl was in fashion. I was a lot younger and everything, but man, they putting these soundtracks out on vinyl now, and the artwork and everything that's with them. I mean, Colonel and I ran into this at the convention last summer, and on a couple of Friday the 13th pieces, and shit, we freaked out, man. And like, I haven't stopped. I've been buying them all ever since we got back. So I'm getting a nice collection of vinyls here, and probably get a few more for Christmas, I would think.
Nice.
Hey, get a record player, damn it.
Yeah, that might come in handy.
No, I mean, you know, it was mostly for the artwork, and now it's like yes, you know, they don't seem to lose any value if you listen to them. So yeah, I'll be definitely.
Fire it up.
Nah. I miss albums and that have that artwork, and you know, you can open it and hold it and look at it, and you know, CDs tried to have that for a while, but then hell, they're lucky to have like a double-sided insert, and that's it anymore.
Pretty small too. The pictures are all shrunk down and everything. Yeah. These damn things are 180 grams each. These records and stuff, and they're printing them on crazy ass vinyl, blood splatter and everything. It's awesome, man. It's just everything about it is cool. You know, the last thing I'll do is actually listen to them. I've just been looking at these damn things.
The last vinyl I remember buying was Pearl Jam when they released Vitology. I want to say their third album. They did a special release album version of that, and I ended up buying that. And the artwork in there is fucking killer. I mean, it's got whole different artwork than the CD had and everything. It was neat. What I want for Christmas, shit, I'd be happy with some new Blu-rays, of course, horror themed. I still haven't picked up Hereditary yet, which I really want, and there's a couple others out there that I wouldn't mind getting. Obviously, the Halloween, when it comes out in January, I'll be getting it. And then, you know, any Stephen King book that I can find that's new, that is not on my shelf already, I'll be picking that up. But, you know, other than that, that's all I'm looking for. Maybe a nice little toothy hum job or something. You know. Not from you, Molly. Not from you, Molly. But,
no! Hell to the no!
I thought that growl meant you were volunteering for some reason.
No, I was agreeing. Like, yes, that wouldn't be bad.
Wait a minute here. And finally, for our let me ask you a question is, what are you guys most excited about coming out in 2019? I mean, there's a lot of movies coming. We might have some other news coming about potential other movies. So what are you guys looking forward to in 2019? Let's start. Ziggy, you want to start on this one?
Sure. I guess first and foremost, if you're going to stay in that movie realm, I would like to see the Friday the 13th lawsuit settled and maybe a proper film released, perhaps with a decent script and perhaps with, not just rushed out because the studio's like, oh, let's just go ahead and run the property back out there again. And, oh, it didn't work. Well, you gave us a piece of shit. That's why. So, I mean, I'd like to see that. I'm looking forward to It this year. Let's see. Boy, there's a ton of stuff coming. I mean, it should be a good year for horror. I mean, we're going to ride that wave of Halloween, that tsunami of gore, hopefully in blood, that's coming our way. And then, I got plenty more vinyls to look forward to, some more toys. And, yeah, man, it's going to be just a simple 2019 as far as that goes, as far as what I'm looking for. That's it. The Friday the 13th, number one.
Well, the question was, what are you excited for in 2019? I don't think that's going to happen until like 2022.
The lawsuit could be settled. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Trust me, I would love for that to happen. I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
Touché.
If they've held out this long, and I'll say it, if Sean Cunningham has held on to those purse strings as long as he has, I don't think he's going to budge on that for a while until he absolutely has to. And what I am worried about is, like you just said, once they do get that resolved, some piece of shit's going to come out first and ruin whatever momentum they might get, But I hope not. You're a lot more optimistic than I am for 2019, but I also watch the news. Colonel, go ahead and talk to us about what you're excited for in 2019.
I got a few things I'm excited for. Number one, the Creep Show series on Shudder. Dying to get my hands on that and watch it. I think it's going to be phenomenal. Hopefully my hype isn't too much, but Greg Nicotero, everything he touches recently kind of turns to gold. So I think it's a safe bet that's going to be a good show. In the world of collectibles, the Pamela Voorhees Part 3 retro cloth figure from NECA looks fabulous. And they'll kind of help heal the pain of not having the Pamela and young boy Jason in my collection. So that's currently the only retro figures I don't have in my collection. Fuck you, Zag. And number 3, this is going to sound cheesy. I'm looking forward to Death Curse Society growing, getting bigger, bringing more people in.
Oh.
I was going to go there, and I couldn't really articulate it. So thank you, Colonel. Thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't articulate it very well, but fuck it.
My heartstrings have been tugged.
Did your heart just go 3 sizes today?
No, not quite that big. That would be it's called a heart attack. No, I didn't do that.
All the blood is rushing to my head.
Well, one of them. One of them, anyway. Molly, what are you excited about for 2019?
All right. Well, movies. Not sure what's going to be done in 19, but Devil's Rejects 2, 3 from Hell. At least the production and the filming. Everybody knows I love Rob Zombie, so I'm going to be paying close attention to how that's coming along and developing in 19. Hopefully it hasn't done. It usually doesn't take that long.
I think it's wrapped.
Yeah, well, then maybe we'll have something by fall. Who knows?
Yeah.
It, the continuation of the It movie, because the first one was excellent. There's a few other movies here and there. I mean, Pet Sematary comes out. There's a few other ones. Seeing if they start the filming of the Resident Evil reboot and done the right way would be nice. And speaking of Resident Evil, video games, Resident Evil 7 comes out in January. Resident Evil 7. Boom! And no! The remake came out. 2. Resident Evil 2, not 7. Shut up, Ollie! Oh, God. Okay, yeah, it's a remake of the original PlayStation Resident Evil 2. So it's fucking looking sweet. Zeg knows what I'm talking about. He's going to be on that shit. Other video games, I guess more shit to daylight, maybe Friday get resolved, but I doubt that. what's that one other game that last year? If they put that on consoles, that might be worth checking out as a horror game. Collectibles, you know, I just kind of go by ear. We have our own inside guy on all the fucking collectible news, even though he's kind of a sandwich. But, you know. But main thing, I guess, yeah, that Resident Evil game is pretty much the main thing. And the continuation of Death Curse Society, as you said, Colonel, but, you know, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Your connection on the toy figurine deal. Yeah, he's the equivalence of our like inside connection, I guess. That would be the best word to use. Equivalence.
He's the third Q, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
He knows it starts with a Q. He's not stupid.
Might be a little bit too inside jokey for some of our fans, but
pay attention.
That's right. All right. So for me, I'm excited to see where 2019 takes the DCS. Interested to get some more celebrity interviews like Colonel was able to for this episode in the next year. I'm excited that hopefully someday, maybe this year, we all get to go to a convention together. I think that would be fun. Movie-wise, Pet Cemetery, definitely. I hope they don't screw that up. I'm curious. I'm definitely interested in the new Conjuring or Annabelle edition that's coming out. I think is this year, and of course 3 from Hell. Kind of surprised no one mentioned this, but how about Stranger Things, baby?
Yeah,
that should be dropping this summer, I think.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Colonel says nope, tired of that bullshit. You're not into that anymore, Colonel?
I never was into it. I gave it like 4 episodes in the first season. I thought it was boring as hell.
Oh, okay.
Makes it more power to people you like it, man. Teach your own. I ain't gonna knock you.
I'm kind of surprised you liking Monster Squad so much.
Monster Squad's way better than Stranger Things, man.
I think Monster Squad that was one of them. You said wasn't that like your first horror movie that got you into it? You know, you grew up on Monster Squad.
I came up with Monster Squad and graduated quickly to fucking Friday and Halloween and everything else. But Monster Squad is the first one I actually sat down and sunk myself into that world.
Stranger Things, you know, just your Goonies mixed with Monster Squad mixed with Summer '84 mixed with whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's a good
I like it. So, I don't know. I think it's pretty damn good. I didn't think I was going to, honestly, though. When I got turned on to it, I was like, Stranger Things, this sci-fi shit. I was hooked after the first season. I had to keep watching.
It's good. I think it's lost a lot of momentum, that show, though, since it's really took off like the first 2 seasons and everything. It's not really, man, it was on the cover of everything when that first season came out, and everyone was like all over that retro connection and the 80s shit and everything. And all right, you know what I mean? Now these kids are starting to get older now. How long can they run this thing? But, you know, hey, give it its day in court, as we like to say.
And I wasn't thinking TV shows, but yes, and Walking Dead, too.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say
that and what they do with Rick.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say Walking Dead and what they're doing there with the movies and the TV show. I don't think we're getting a movie until 2020. No. But we might get one into this year. We'll see. Definitely looking forward to American Horror Story since it seems to be on an uptick. Hopefully they keep that momentum going. And for new stuff, like Colonel said, Creep Show I'm looking forward to. Twilight Zone. I heard there's a Night Gallery reboot possibly coming. You know, and there was talk for a little while. I think it got kind of slowed down or the production was ceased, but Tales from the Crypt was being talked about coming back. But I think something happened to it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
it's gone again.
Well, that wraps it up for Let Me Ask You a Question. I think that's pretty much it for the show this week and this year. So, Colonel, send them out.
Just want to send a special shout out to Filmora. Thank you for such a wonderful project and letting this amateur look like a professional. See you in 2019.
You are a pro, Colonel. You are a pro. Stop it.
You're almost there. You're like a ORP. It's pro backwards, ORP.
Hashtag.
Molly, send them out.
Yo, all right, folks. You can check us out at www.deathcursesociety.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know how to do it. You know how that social media thing works. You know more than I do. I mean, I know Facebook. I don't know the other things. So get on there, talk to us, send us questions. Let's chat. Yo.
That's right. Ziggy.
Hey, man, look at these gorgeous T-shirts these handsome fellas are wearing right here. Ooh. You can get one, too. Right now, we don't have the store open yet, but if you want a Death Curse Society T-shirt, hit us on Facebook. We'll put some links up there that'll give you a direct reminder. And then it's PayPal. Zigzag is DCS. I'm the guy. I'll hook you up. I've got the box. I got the bags. I got the labels. I'll ship that shit right to your front door. I'll stick it under your dirty uns in your drawer.
He will.
Ooh.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, that sounded a little more aggressive than I thought it would, but all right.
Right under the
dirty. Right. Guys, our next episode will be dropping right after the new year, January 3rd. But don't worry, it may be a new year, but it's going to be the same DCS, and you know what I mean. So,
that's true.
Until next year, have a happy holidays and a grand new year. This is Red Crank from Moly Michael, for the Colonel, and for Zigzag, saying DCS out. See you next year.
DCS out.
DCS out. Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho. What? That wasn't in the script. I didn't write that. Don't say that.
Yeah,
that wasn't in there.
I had to put that in there somewhere. I could do my impression of a mime, though.
Really?
Yep.
Colonel as a mime, folks.
That was your Don't die on this, Marty.
Christmas. It's like a
Man, that was rough. Starting getting fucking stomach cramps, like in the middle. I'm like,
Man, we all got the same thing, man. That shit's been bubbling up all day yesterday.
Oh God, man! I farted like 3 times during that 15 minutes, and about died in here.
Offended himself.
I don't know if you saw me, but I kept like angling this way and then like leaning this way just to see if I could get away from it as far as I could.
He's got a fucking fan down there, angled, blowing it away and shit up to the bottom.
Oh God, nice. That was rough.